Hello, good morning, and Assalamu alaikum to all of my students. I'm your teacher Sana Kausar again with the lecture number 5 for all of you. Okay, before we are going to move on, first tell me how are you all, and are you completing your work that I'm mentioning in every lecture? So make sure that you are going to complete all the work by yourself at home without taking the help from anyone. So, first of all, before going to move on, just tell me that how are you all? Okay, let me just correct my spelling of grade. That was wrong. So, I just corrected. So, look at the screen, all of my students. First of all, this is lecture number 5 that we are starting now. And in this lecture, the topics are mentioned over here that you can read very easily. That is that even and odd numbers top we will study today, and the work that I'm covering that is belong to your work that is done that is mentioned in 2A. So let's start our first slide and let's study what is basically even and odd. Okay. Can anybody tell me, anybody who has an idea that what are the even and what are the odd numbers? I'm sure that most of my students have no idea about it because I don't think so that in grades 1 you studied this topic. But this is a very, very, very interesting topic. And I personally like it because it's very easy. And second thing is that it has just one or two things that you need to understand. And after understanding one or two points about even and odd numbers, you can solve the whole questions regarding to this topic. So basically, it's the most easy topic. You can say that in this chapter because the number pattern was a bit difficult, but this is the topic that's very easy. But you guys need to be very focused while you're attending this lecture because you are going to learn few very interesting tips. So let's read the topic that is let's learn and first look at this picture. What is mentioned over here? Okay, I'm not talking about the cupcakes basically. Our main target is these blue lines, which I'm just showing you with my pointer that I'm just talking about the pairs. Can you see that each circle has a pair of cupcakes? Pair has two things in it, like you know that every pair has two things in it. So you can see that in each circle, two cups are circled, and there are total four cupcakes. So let's read that what the basic idea of this picture. The cupcakes in a tray set A are evenly paired, and the number 4 is an even number. Now, after reading the statement, now compare the picture number 1 and then this is picture number 2. Now compare it. In this picture, we have 5 cupcakes, and when we pair the two cups in each pair, when we just group them into a group of two, one cupcake is left. And the main idea of even numbers are that we make a group of two and no item should be left. Then we can call those numbers even number. And if we have any item left, like in this where I'm mentioning you 5 cupcakes, one cupcake is left, so that are called odd. This is the simple way where you can simply group the objects into a group of two, and then you can easily find out that one number is left. So you can tell me that that's an odd number. And if they are paired equally, all the items are equally grouped into a group of two. So you can say that those are even numbers. So let's read the last statement. The cupcakes from the set B are not evenly paired. Why they are not evenly paired? Because we have one cupcake that is left over here. So that's why they are not equally paired. Evenly is the word that comes from the word equal as well. It has also the same, you can say that not same meanings, but you can say that in the same sense. So one cupcake is an odd one out. Yes, yes, you can see in the picture. So the number 5 is an odd. Yes, this is the first method of, you can say that that is mentioned in your book. I took this picture from your student book. So they start the lecture with the simple pictures of making the groups of two, and then they explain you that 4 is an even number and 5 is an odd number. So are the cupcakes in the other boxes in set A are evenly paired? No. The girl is asking the question and her answer is no, because the set B has one cupcake left. They are not evenly paired. So those numbers are called odd number. So I have another explanation worksheet. You can say that slide for you. Let's have a look on it. It's also just like that. What do you notice about even and odd numbers? Yes. In this picture, my question is to all of you, what you are noticing. Look at the picture carefully. Where my cursor is, just look at this first picture, 1. 1 is alone and there's no other object which it can pair. So 1 is an odd number. Look at this side boxes. Yes, they're telling you through the pictures of cupcakes. Yummy cupcakes, yes. So the next picture, we have 2 cupcakes and they're equally paired. I told you, you are going to make a group of 2. Each group has 2 cupcakes in it. So only those groups are called even groups. So in the number 2, they are equally paired. So 2 number is even number. Now let's have a third one. Okay, in 3 cupcakes, 2 are equally paired and 1 is left. If we have a left item, then it means it's an odd number. Yes. Let's move on to the next one. 4 cupcakes. Okay, in the 4 cupcakes, we equally make a group of 2. We make a 2 groups. So 4 is an even number. Okay. In the 5 cupcakes example, we make the group of 2, but 1 cupcake is left. So 5 is an odd. Let's move on the sixth one. In the sixth, we equally paired the cupcakes into a group of 2. So 6 is an even number. In the group number of 7 cupcakes, we make a group of 2, but 1 cupcake is left. So 7 is an odd number. Okay. Third last, in the number 8, we make a group of 2, and all the groups are perfectly made over here. No cupcake is left. So 8 is an even number. Now, the second last one, in the 9 cupcakes example, we make a group of 2, but 1 cupcake is left, so 9 is an odd. And in the number 10, yes, we make all the groups equally paired into a group of 2, so 10 is an even number. So that's a very simple thing that you can focus and you can notice very easily that 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd, 6 is even, 7 is odd, 8 is even, 9 is odd, 10 is even. It goes in a very simple way. If you know that 1 is an odd number, so you can skip 2, 3, and then you can 5 and 7 and 9. Those all are odd numbers. Just one point that I want to mention you all, just remember that 0. Okay, in the example of 10, 0 is also considered even number. So don't forget that 0 is an even number. It's not an odd. 1 is an odd number. So I have another very interesting slide for all of you. Let's have a look. Okay. Yes. In this slide, what we do, we just simply mention them separately into the 2 groups. This is an even number groups and this is an odd number groups, which you can easily learn or you can understand very simply that 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. You can just learn it or you can understand it that also that these are the even numbers. Okay, I have another trick for all of you. You all, I'm sure all of my students know the 2 times table. So 2 times table, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 3s are 6, 2 fours are 8, 2 fives are 10. So 2 times table digits are even number and odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. The numbers that are not divided or not a part of or not comes in a 2 times table, those numbers are odd numbers. But the most important line which I noticed and which I saw over here, but you guys have no idea about it, let me just mention you. And in. Yes, this is the word which has a very special meanings for all of you. Okay, students, this is the point which you need to be remembered to understand this concept. You can say that first point was to know the even numbers and odd numbers, and the next trick was ends in. It means, let me tell you, look at over here the numbers which are mentioned over here in the example 12, 46, 30. So all the numbers, whether they are in hundreds, thousands, if their last number, if the end number is even, so we can say that the whole number is even. How? Look at this in the example of 30. 3 is an odd number, but just have a look on the last digit, that is 0. So if the last digit is even, so the whole number will be even. And same in this example where my cursor is moving 11, 37, 23. So in this example 23, you notice that 2 is an even number. But what you're going to do, you will just notice the last digits. Look at this, where I am circling it. Yes, 3. So 3 is what? 3 is an even or odd? 3 is an odd number. So my students, this whole number is an odd number. And this whole number is even number. Why? Because the last digit is even. So it's even number. And you can say that if the last digit is odd, so the whole number will be odd. That is something that's showing you a big relationship. Most important, you can say that the rule of the even and odd numbers. And after knowing this rule, the whole work will be very easy for you. So let's just have a revision while I'm raising this. Just have a revision with me that what are the even numbers? Can you tell me? Yes, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And what are the odd numbers? Can you tell me? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yes, that's the first rule of the even and odd numbers, to just know what are the even numbers and what are the odd numbers. After knowing this, you are going to just remember the one rule, that if the last digit is even, so the whole number will be even. And if the last digit is odd, like 7 is odd, 1 is odd, 3 is odd, so the whole number will be the odd one. This is the very simple rule and it will help you a lot to solve all the questions of this topic. So let's move on to the work that is something that is mentioned in your book too. Okay, this is the work that I just get from your workbook page, page number 22. And all of my students, I know that after attending this lecture, you will attend all the work by yourself on your workbook. So just let's read the question. What is the question that is mentioned over here? Let's read the question carefully. What are the odd numbers between 30 and 40? That's the question that is mentioned on the top of your workbook page number 22. So they are asking you to just mention the odd numbers. So let's start with the 30. Is 30 is the even number or odd number? Okay, just think. Can you tell me? 30 is an even number. So let's move on to the next number, 31. 31 is an even or odd number? 1. Just look at the last number. 31 is an odd number. So I'm going to mention 31 over here. Yes. Let's move on to the next one, 32. 32 is an even or odd? It's even number because 2 is the even number. Just I told you, just remember that. So 33. So 33 is odd. You can, I told you one another trick is to skip the one number, but you should sure that you must be sure that which numbers are even and which numbers are odd. After 33, 34 is an even and 35 is odd. Yes. Okay, 36 is even and 37 is odd. Yes, you can just say that, ma'am, we are skipping. You can say that, ma'am, we are skipping the one number and we are writing it. But be careful while doing this. 38 is even and 39 is odd. Yes. Now just check your work. After solving the work, don't forget to check your work. And how we can check? Just check the last digit. 1 is odd, 3 is odd, 7 is odd, 7 is odd, and 9 is odd number. Yes, and 40 is again the even number. So this question is done, and the next question is very interesting. Let's read the question first. Look at the numbers. They just randomly mentioned the few numbers over here. List the odd numbers and the even numbers. So my students, this work is very easy, and I will just explain you two examples of it, and the rest of the examples or rest of the you can say the dimension number, you will figure out by yourself that which numbers are even and which numbers are odd. Okay, for me, I'm just looking at the first number, that is 400. Okay, in the 400 number, I am just going to look at the last number, that is 0. So just tell me, students, 0 is an even number or odd number? Yes, you can tell me. 0 is an even number. So we are going to mention this whole number over here in the even column, that is 400. Yes. Now we are going to move on to the next example, that is 601. Okay, I'm not gonna check the whole number. I will just look at the last, the end number, that is 1. I'm encircling it also because it will help me to remember. 1. Just tell me that 1 is an even number or odd number? Yes, I know that. All of you know it. So it's an odd number. So I'm going to mention the whole number 601 over here because 601 is an odd number. Let's move on to the next example. That is very easy, that 8. 8 is an even number or odd number? That you can say that 8 is a part of 2 times table, that 2 fours are 8. So it's simply an even number that you can mention in the even column. Okay, I'm just going to the move to the one another example, that is 729. Just look at the last number. Okay, I'm encircling it also for all of you. 9. 9 is even and odd. Just think. Hmm? I'm sure you guys know that 9 is an odd number. So I'm going to mention the whole number over here, that is 729. Yes. In the same way, you are going to solve the rest of the numbers. You will figure out which number is an even and which number is odd. And one thing I want to just mention over here, that is, don't forget that in 1000, just check the last digit 0, and you guys know that 0 is an even and odd number. I'm sure. So let's move on to the next one. This is very easy and interesting. Just figure out the last number and your question is solved. Okay, I have another very interesting slide that I just copied. But before going to start the work on it, I just need to raise my board as I used to do in the classroom. So it really reminds me my classroom routine when I just rub the board and start the work again. So it's just like that. So let's move on. Look at the numbers and then fill in the blanks. They are just give you simple instructions that you just have to look on these numbers carefully and then you are going to fill the blanks. Okay, this is very easy where they give you a proper numbers. And question is, read the question very carefully. That is to read the question from the greatest two digits odd number. The main idea of the question is use these three numbers, that is 2, 1 and 6, and use the two numbers from the given numbers and make a greatest odd numbers. Like you're not allowed to use any other numbers. You are allowed to use only these three digits and then you're going to make a greatest two-digit number. So what you're going to do first after reading this part, odd numbers, which what is the odd number in it? It's number 1. So how you're going to do it? You are going to write down uh, over here 1. And why? Because you know that 2 and 6 are even numbers. Only 1 is the odd number. So I mentioned 1 over here. And we are going to find out the greatest number. So 2 is greater or 6 is greater? 6 is greater number. So we are going to write 6 over here and we make this question 61. Why I put 1 at the end? Because I just want to make sure that last digit should be the odd number. If you make the greater number 62, your question will be wrong because 2 is the even number and then you will solve it wrong. So we are going to do the same stuff over here again. Let's read the number 4, 3, 9. Okay, let's have a look on the question. From the smallest three digits, even numbers. Okay, they're telling you that make the smallest even number. The first rule is that we need to work on is that even number. To figure out which is the even number. Is it 3? No. The even number we have, that is 4. So first what we are going to do, we are going to mention 4 in the last, just to make sure that our last digit should be even number. And the rule is to use the smallest one, not the greatest one. So in number 4 and 9, which is the smaller number? That is 4 and 9 is greater. So I'm going to mention 9 first and I will put the 4 at the first place. So our first question is uh, not going wrong correctly, because if you solve it like this, there is a mistake. There is a writing mistake in it. So I was just doing it to make sure that whether you are attending this lecture that attentively or not. So yes, we already mentioned the 4 over here and my smallest number was 3. My comparison was between 3 and 9. So what we're gonna do, you just mentioned the first number, that should be 3. Yeah, not 4. So now just check it. 394 is the smallest even number. If my students, you did a mistake and write it like this, you can say that you mention it 9, 3, 4. So the whole idea of the question goes wrong because they are asking about the smallest three-digit number. So you are not going to do the same mistake over here. You are going to read the statements very carefully. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, we have again three digits are mentioned over here. Just read it 085. Okay, the greatest even number that can be formed. Hmm. Anyone who can just think before I tell you all? Hmm. What are the even numbers? First, figure it out. Okay, we have 0 is even and 8 is even. 5 is the one that is odd, as they're talking about the greatest even number. So I am going to mention my greater number, that is 5 or 8. That is 8. So I'm going to mention my greater number at the first place, that is 8. And we are going to form the even number. So I am going to mention my even number at the last place, that is 0. And 5 is the number which is odd, which will definitely come at the middle. Both are the even numbers, but if you change their places, if you swap the places, they will change into the smallest even. And now the question is, the second statement is the greatest odd numbers that can be formed. Actually, they're asking about now make a greatest odd number. So if we are making the greatest number, what is the first rule? Think. The last digit should be the odd number, because in even we put the even number at the end, and in the condition of odd number I'm going to simply mention digit 5 in the last to make sure that my number should be in the odd numbers. And as we are making the greatest odd number, so 5 will come in the end, 8 will come in the first place, and 0 will come in the middle. Yeah. Now check it. After writing it, as I told you again and again, that check your work. Just have a look whether it's an odd number. Just check the last digit. 5. 5 is an odd number. So your number is too odd. And now check that is the greater number is in the starting place. Yes, that is 8 is here. So you're going to check it that whether it's correct or wrong. Let's have a look same way in the even. Just check the last digit, that's 0. 0 is an even number, so it means your number is even. And is the greater number is at the first place? Yes, 8 is greater than 5, so 8 is at the first place, so it means this question is also correct. Yes, so I'm sure that all of my students understand this concept, that what are the even numbers. Let's just have a revision with me while I'm erasing my board. Let's have a revision with me. That is, what are the even numbers? The even numbers are starts from 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And what are the odd numbers? That starts with 2 or 1. Yes, it starts with the 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. They all are odd numbers. So I'm sure that after attending this lecture, you guys understand that how to solve it. This is your homework that is mentioned over here, that do workbook page number 21 till 23. That's your homework that you're going to do by yourself, because I explained all the difficult you can say that questions in this lecture, and I have a very interesting video for you all. I'm sure that you all will enjoy it. It's also about the even and odd number. So till then, the next lecture, take care. Bye bye. Watch the video. You can even click on the given you can say that my link over here, and you can watch this video. You can even search it on the YouTube with the name of Number Walk Even and Odd Numbers. Bye bye.